All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Limited Time, episode 3. And thanks for joining me again for the awkward intro at the start. So, Limited Time, episode 3, we've got Toozy on this, not this week, this was recorded quite a few weeks ago. But yeah, thank you, Toozy, for being so patient. And everyone, we hit that 200 views again last week. So, that was really good to see that people are still interested. I thought the Sleepy episode and Mellow at the start, I think we've had a really good start to this, and hopefully we can keep the ball rolling, and I can keep these semi-consistent. I want to try and keep it fortnightly, but it might stretch out to that 2 to 3 week period. So yeah, we had a good friend of mine, Toozy, which we've been collecting and for years now. We're probably one of the older members, and yeah, just a real insight to another artist in the community who's done numerous concepts, not only for me but many of big names in the Youtooz community. And yeah, he was really shy in this episode at the start, but he really warmed up, and we had a great chat beforehand and after, and I think he was really proud of himself of how he could conduct himself over an interview for so long. So make sure to give him plenty of positive feedback in the comments, and of course, if you haven't heard of Toozy for some reason, make sure to check him out. But yeah, another great artist chat, and a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the episode. So I've relaunched the Redbubble store. I think you can buy some stickers there, and I think I released some phone cases or something. You know, you can do whatever you want on Redbubble, but I only released the items that actually looked good with the CAF logo and everything. So if you want to support the podcast and keep Editor Mop in a job and keep this semi-consistently coming out, that's the easiest way to help me out. And we'll keep the giveaways going too. So not one for this episode, but we'll do one in the future anyway. Just keep an eye out on socials. But last episode's giveaway with the Sleepy episode is on the screen now. Yep, you can see them. Congratulations. We've got the mug winner, and then we'll send out some stickers and some Pokemon cards or something to the second. I just thought I'd give out two. I've got a few mugs that I've ordered here in Australia. They're not from Redbubble. Yeah, they're in my local area around here, which I trust. So I'll keep buying them and keep releasing them every now and then. So yeah, thanks again, guys. Make sure to leave a like. Check out Toozy on all his socials, of course. And yeah, make sure to subscribe. Appreciate it, guys. See you soon.
Okay, Limited Time, episode 3, with now a close friend, Toozy. I've got you down as a collector, artist, and part-time YouTuber, but we mainly like your art and your collecting, of course. How you been, man? Welcome to the time zones.
I've been good. Everything's been up and down lately. Mostly a lot of goods, though.
No, that's good. If we've got a little bit more good than bad in life, you're going all right. So, for context, everyone, it is Monday for me and Sunday for you. So, what is it? 8:20 in the morning for me, and it would be nearly 9:30 for you at night.
Yeah. Almost Sunday.
Almost. Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no, I got no idea. Yeah, I just had to wake up. Basically, I wake up and you guys are going to sleep usually. So I'll take you through what happened this morning. We're recording this on Discord because I hope you sound fine. I'm pretty sure you do, but we couldn't. Your laptop's broke, so we had to go to the phone route, and so I was up at 6:20 a.m. Got a coffee, and then for the last hour, we've been trying to figure out how to actually record this thing. So I'm glad that it's finally kicking off.
Might not sound the best compared to the other episodes, but at least it works.
Well, that's the funny thing. You have seen episode 1, and you've been like my biggest fan for it. I'm very grateful for that. I really appreciate the feedback. So, the funny thing is, you haven't actually listened to episode 2, but episode 3 is what this one is. So, yeah. No, thank you everyone again. Like there'll be a snippet at the front of this of just like introing you, and I think it'd be good to like have a recap of like what's happened since the last recording and stuff. But yeah, everyone's been really nice about it. I thought I'd get more hate or just like, oh, another podcast or stuff like that. But people were pretty welcoming and encouraging of it. So
Yeah, it's a good podcast. So even with like only one episode out at the minute, It's like you can tell that it's better than a lot of other ones.
Well, I tried to make it different. It's mainly just like we'll talk about Youtooz at the end. Like I've given you a little rundown, but I don't give away too much. But it's not that deep. But it's just focusing. Like we're starting with this community. It's very vague what limited time is, but um, it's what I have left in the community. I probably don't have too much time left being an adult with bills. Like we're talking about this. Like you're talking about how many Garfields are you going to buy? And I'm like, well, technically, I can't buy that many. I'd love to buy all of them. I'd like to be the biggest Garfield collector of all time. But um, yeah, there's money constraints now, and what I'm happy with is just interview. Like I've known you for over a year, and this is our first time talking to each other.
Has it been over a year?
Yeah,
Shit, it has.
surely, because the funny thing, people send me your art and go, "Have you seen this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I love Tuzi. He's been one of my favorite artists for ages." So, um, a bit of context for you, randomly, you've got 429 posts as of today, 411 followers, and you're on this podcast because I'm biased and I'm a real big fan. I just wanted, hopefully, I can get your autograph one day or something. But um, is there is there any other way you'd like to be introduced? Tell me a little bit. Give me a little snippet of what Mr. Tuzi is and what the community means to you.
Uh, you summed it up quite well. Just like community artist, uh, do some collecting, uh, rarely post on YouTube. It's like a couple of videos, mostly to do with art.
Yeah,
Not that consistent anymore. I still try to like get things out when I can, but it's just like hard sometimes. Lack of motivation for a lot of things.
yeah. That's what I've got in my notes is it's all about time, routine, growing up. It's not a unfortunately it's not a job for you. You can't do it 9 hours a day. But I'll touch on routine and how an artist juggles themselves really because I did that. I really liked to hear that from Mello and Sleepy, who will you've listened to Mello, you'll listen to Sleepy soon. But
Yeah.
how you guys juggle up like a work life balance. Um, I haven't even asked. Like, are you comfortable with saying you've got a job? Like, have you got part time? Like, you're a student and do you work as well? Or
Currently, no. I'm in my last year of high school
yeah,
and like going into college, and I've got my final exams coming up.
mm,
So after they're finished, I'll be going to try find a part-time job.
yeah. I really recommend that. We talked about schooling with Sleepy a lot and just juggling that. Like, he was on school holidays and we are talking like much more chilled out. Um, but I worked too much when I was in my. I don't know how to compare our schools, but when I was in my, I'll just say final year, I was working probably 4 nights, like, every Sunday to make up for, like, a double shift, and I was playing sport, working, barely any time for study, so that's something I probably regret, like, it got me the money, but what you're doing, it sounds really good. You get to do your hobbies, but you don't have to stress out trying to work and juggle with study, because I know you're studying some pretty serious stuff at the moment. Because, like you said, you're doing science. I gave up science so quick. You said you were doing
My
science, weren't you?
um, science is like a core thing for my schools, so it's like you need to do sciences, English, and maths,
Yeah,
and then it's like after that, I can't do science like at all, so I'm dropping that
yeah.
and then leaving for college to do in performing arts.
Mm. Yeah, I'm excited for you. It's gonna be so cool. Um, like, you dropped that on me, like, I didn't know too much about you, and you're like, "I'm going into performing arts." I'm like, "That is so cool. I can't wait to follow you." Not like just on the Instagram, but I'll just see you. Oh, wait, who are your talk show guys? Uh, who are the popular UK talk show people? Isn't it like Alan Carr, Chatty Man, or something? Is he still relevant?
Gonna be honest, I've never even heard of him.
Oh, it's probably not even UK. I'm probably just like said something really stupid then, but no, TV's dying a little bit. You just have to fund your own Netflix thing. What would be the dream then? This is pretty vague, but like your performing arts, is that like acting or like stage
Yeah.
or theater? Not yeah.
Um, the course that I'm taking is like more centered towards like how to go into like TV and acting,
Yeah.
but there is parts with theatre, and during my course, I get to go out to places like London and Amsterdam,
Yeah.
like participate in improv shows.
Yeah, improv is so important, I think. Um I don't know too much about acting, but a lot of comedy people go into acting and stuff. Like, I follow a lot of comedians, and
Yeah.
like, it's all so different, but they appreciate everything. Like theater people coming into improv, they found it easier. I don't know, like it's just improv's like such a good comedy, um, like for comedy learning and so on. But yeah, I think if you could do theater, traditional acting, like it'll all just help you really. Like, man, if John Cena can act, anyone can act, eh?
Yeah.
I was,
Gives me
oh,
hope.
gives you hope. He's actually really good. I was trying to like scope your comic book prowess before. Um, I don't know. Have you seen like a show called Peacemaker? I know you haven't seen the Batman and stuff like that, but what type
Mm.
of TV shows are you into then, or media? Is it just a lot of YouTube or?
Um, I don't spend as much time on things like now as I used to. There's like some highlights that I like still really like Breaking Bad, amazing show, one of
Top
my
tier?
favorite.
Yeah, absolutely.
Um, love the John Wick movies.
hmm And you just did a
Uh,
John Wick art or
I did.
Keanu? Yeah. I didn't actually know what you called it. Do you call them particular things? Like they're all like this is a good segue back to your art. Like some of I've got my favorite arts written down here. So they're gonna pop like I said, they're gonna pop up on the screen for everyone to see, but I just love your art style. It's so unique. Um and so many people do digital art now, and like you can see like I was having so much fun scrolling back over the years, like over the last year and a half, just seeing how like the picture quality, the coloring, like everything's improved, how you upload them. Like I'll run through a few of mine. Like love the James Marriott one, Corpse Husband, of course, Garfield. Your in betweeners, like they just look so believable as
Yeah,
Youtooz. Like I
I
think you
was
get that.
so proud of those things.
Yeah. Max and Chad, of course, from Cold Ones. Um, the one you did a while ago, Youtooz Todd with the tape, that was really good. I thought that was actually quite unique to get his little character onto a sketch, and then yeah, some more biased ones like Daft Punk and Steve Irwin, like, and the Steve Irwin one, I, seeing that surprised me. Where did that come from? Did you watch much of him as a kid or anything? Like,
Nah, I
eh,
didn't
he-
really. I didn't watch Steve Irwin, but it's like I've always known about him, and he's always been
yeah,
like big legend for like everyone.
yeah. I was just
So
wondering
it's,
Steve Irwin's reach. Like, it was obviously worldwide. Like, I keep thinking, like, most people, there's not too many. Let's just say there's not too many famous um, Australian actors or personalities over the world. Like, I think everyone knows your Hugh Jackmans, your Thor, Chris Hemsworth. Um, trying to think now. It's not too many for me. Anyway, I'm missing some. Of course, I'm already disrespecting a few. But I think a lot of people know Steve Irwin and what his reach had on the world in his effect. Yeah.
it's like he's so big. It's like um, there was some Funko Pops released of him. And they did like whole little line, him holding a bunch of different animals,
Oh, okay.
and I saw some of those, and I was like, "That's really cool." I like
Yeah.
Steve Irwin. He seemed like a good guy.
Yeah.
So did a concept and tried to incorporate a couple of animals into it.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to see, yeah, his goals and like, yeah, I was so sad when because you didn't, I guess you didn't, I'm a little bit older. My memories of him, I traveled around Australia with my parents. Like I was too young to remember it because you're in that, 5 to 6 year old age. And we'd watch him every night on TV in the caravan. Like we had this little TV if we're on a powered site, and we'd watch Steve Irwin every night. And I remember he passed, obviously, tragically, and we were in school, and I was just like, everyone was like bawling their eyes out, and it was like a national tragedy. It was just so sad. But seeing art like that, just remember, like the memories is just awesome. Like, yeah, I just thought that was really cool to see, not just all these Youtooz, but you randomly came up with like iconic Australian culture too. So what else
I
have I
have
got here?
wanted to do like a couple more iconic people. I'm not sure
Yeah,
like who to do yet, but just like worldwide people that everyone knows, like,
yeah,
actual legends.
actual legends. Yeah, actual legend. Like start that hashtag. Like Toozies actual legends. Like people say people are legends. You're like, no, these are the actual ones. Well, back to me. Oh, yeah, always back to me. Like, let's not talk about you. But I was going through your old posts, and I wasn't even talking to you. I was tagged in a photo, February 2021. You tagged me in a post that got my attention, and I'll go through all the arts you've done. Like, I think you've done 5 arts for me. Because there's a couple of double ups of the limited time ones. I'll just call them
Yeah.
one art. So we'll have your art rotating through the episode, but that was so cool when you did some limited time stuff. But yeah, you've got you just had me in the classic cup calf cup pose. Like I loved what you did there. Like it was like me in a bath basically. Uh, and then you did the 6 different art styles. That was crazy as well. Like The Simpsons, South Park, Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball, whatever you want to call it. And then there was a, what do you call it? Friday fun. What do they call it? The Friday
Friday Night
Funk.
Funkin'. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that was pretty cool. Um, but that's what I was looking at. I was like, he's done those for a reason. Is there like, are they TV shows for you that inspired you for art when you were younger, like The Simpsons and all that stuff, like their art styles, or is there others? Like, are you a person that is like a real an art nerd, and you look into, or you have like a book of favorite artists or anything, or what kind of inspired you as a kid or a teenager, I suppose?
Um, with things like The Simpsons, that's like something that everyone watches. It's like that's just global. Everyone knows The Simpsons, and like obviously I watched it. South Park is a show that I love. Watched it for years. So when I was doing all of the pictures of you, I was just thinking of like art styles that I really liked, and they were like different enough from each other and different enough to stand on their own so that
Mm.
you could see them and be like, oh yeah, that's this. And I started off with you because, not to be a suck up or anything, you're one of my favorite community members.
Thank you, mate. It is weird talking about myself. Like I actually had that in my notes, and I was halfway through it, and I was like, "Oh, this sounds cocky." Like I'm like, but I thought it was so. I think it's fun. And what I should have written down is you did a lot of other community members. Like I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, actually, you say what other community members have you done? Because I know you did Blade, which was phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you can remember any off the top of your head, I'll put them in the notes now for the episode.
Um, don't remember many off the top of my head.
You
Like you
did a
said,
booze,
Blade.
didn't you?
Yeah, Booze Twos. I did some of Rack and Rohan,
Yeah.
if that's how you say it. Um, currently, I'm doing, well, working on something, and it's just a list of community members, and it's not in Youtooz style, but
Okay.
just
Cool.
some artwork of them.
Is that something
And
you are juggling right now? Is trying to weigh up how long do I do Youtooz concepts for? I want to dip into
yeah,
my own art. Is there a battle mentally for you to weigh things up? How you want to post things? How you want to draw things?
it's like with that page, it's like consistently Youtooz. That's what everyone knows the page for. But
Yeah.
it's like, because like there's more of like people waiting for things on that page, I can't do more standalone art.
Yeah.
So I need to do more concepts to like weigh it out. So whenever I do like bits of work in between, you'll usually see them on like my story. There's
Yeah.
like a highlight of different pieces of art that I've done that like aren't Youtooz related.
Oh, don't mind me. I was drinking water then while you were talking. Welcome to the most professional podcast in the world. So that's interesting. You feel so you admit you feel a little bit of pressure about uploading. I think a
Yeah,
lot of people feel that pressure, especially as artists, to like I don't know how Sleepy does it. He's so consistent. Um,
yeah,
and let's talk about your routine then. Like first, we'll harp on about this. The pressure. I felt that too. Like that. And my pressure wasn't. I'm not an artist, but it was pressure of collecting. Like people need to see this. Like it would.
mm,
My figures used to go to my work, and I would be like, I was the manager, and I'd like take myself off the floor for 5 minutes to take photos. And I'd be like, I got to get this out. Like, this is the time zones. Like, it's 9 o'clock in the UK. It's 4 p.m. in the US. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I was like so obsessed. And as people can tell, I've chilled out a little bit now because I'm mainly focusing on this. But there was genuine panic and pressure to feel like you have to upload every 1 to 2 days, really, to keep people happy, but to keep you relevant on the algorithm as well.
yeah.
Have you noticed that with like your stories, or you don't look do you look into that, like how many people view stories or like posts or anything
Um,
like that?
I do occasionally, not like a regular thing, and it's like Youtooz things obviously get more likes than
Mm.
casual art.
And you post on the Reddit
Um,
too, am I correct?
uh,
Or am I wrong there?
not as much, not as
I think I
much,
used to
but
see you a
like
bit there.
occasionally. Yeah, I
Oh,
used to
that's
do
it.
it quite a bit, but not much anymore.
Sorry, I just remembered. I didn't even have this in my notes, but your ridiculous usernames on all socials. All right. First of all, aren't you Top Shagger or something on Reddit?
Yeah,
All
Big
right, top
Shagger MC.
big. That's it. And I was like, I saw your art, and I was like, what the fuck is this username? So, you got sorry, Big Shagger or whatever you said.
Yeah.
You got Gem Goblin on here on Discord, and then you got fucking AIDS, like Tuesday AIDS on Twitter. Take me through that. You signed up when you were 9 years old, did you?
Okay. The Reddit Big Shagger MC. Um, Big Shagger just sounds very British.
Yeah,
MC.
top
Big.
Shagger.
Yeah, MC. My initials. We
Nah,
just put them
Minecraft.
together. Hell yeah. Um,
Uh,
Gem Goblin. That's more of like a family story thing. Like my sister married, not married. She's engaged to someone with a
mm,
kid,
yeah,
and when introducing me, I just got him to call me Gem Goblin, so that's what he knows me as now.
that's not a Max Mofo reference, is it?
It, I didn't think about it at the time, but
Yeah,
subconsciously it might have been.
yeah, it could have been. You could have just been watching Max Mofo open Pokemon cards. He's like Gem Goblin. That's funny. You've got so many. Like I just tweeted out before recording with Tuesday AIDS. He's a nice fella, and I can back that up. You are a lovely fella so far. So, yeah, we've been talking for over a year now, and I just can't believe how much. Like, I only talked to Booze for the first time, like the other day. I just can't wait to find more time to talk to people. So, and just catch up with the community. Um, well, you touched on your family there. You're actually pretty. confident. Like I was sending you the questions about, do you want to be anonymous? Like I don't think I'll actually bring up your name and stuff. Um, but you're pretty chill with who you are as a person, your goals. Like you've never face revealed or anything, but you're pretty confident. You're not like a super private guy or scared of anything. Like, would you just say like you're a pretty chill guy on your accounts? You don't care who people knowing your name or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't care. There's people in the community that know my name,
Yeah.
and it's like with some of my concepts, there's probably a couple that like you just don't recognize because those are just me and my friends, and
Yeah.
just my normal account is just tagged.
Hmm. No, that's fair enough. Because what I was going to say is, I want to talk about your character, like who's on the screen right now. You can send me what we'll do after this. You'll send me all your. You've already sent me the art to be featured in the episode, but also like how you want to be represented because you've seen the episode one thumbnail and everything. But your
Yeah,
character basically is like it's. What do we got here? You've got the forked, like you did like a post the other day. You got like the forked tongue. You got the rings on your wrist. You've got the X eyes, and
yeah.
you're always wearing a beanie and quite dark clothes. Is this like a realistic representation of you? Is this actually a character? Like, talk me through
Um,
drawing yourself. How does one draw himself?
so the original like 2Z design, that was like just me drawn as a Youtooz, and you can still see it in the Instagram profile picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's kind of strange. I don't want that. So I decided to change it up a bit. It still mostly reflects me. My hair's a bit shorter in the 2Z design,
Yeah.
and like the shirt that he's wearing, like the two stripes on the arms, that's like an actual jumper that I wear, and it's like my favorite piece of clothing. So I just
Okay.
decided to keep him in that.
Yeah.
Then the design choices with like the XIs, I think that's like mostly inspired from like cores,
Okay.
and that's just something that I've always found cool. So I just decided to add it into my own character.
Yeah, I think it is pretty. I think we'll do this. I think we'll display you as the red background thing. Well, do you
Yeah,
reckon that'd be cool? Yeah,
yeah,
it's been
that's actually
interesting.
some artwork that my friend drew for me.
Oh well, yeah, whatever you want. Oh yeah, true. It did say I'm a small. Yeah, by I'm a small duck. Shout out,
Yeah.
shout out. Private account. I can't see their art, so bad luck. But well, what else have I got written here? Um, like I said, the unprofessional part of the podcast. We've actually talked about things I wasn't actually sure we were even going to talk about. Um, now, oh no, I'm struggling. What I want to focus on is your art. So I love learning. Like I don't think I've touched on this, but I used to draw comics when I was little. Um, no one knows the reference. I used to play. There's this game called Croc, and for some reason, like I was obsessed with. I think Steve Irwin and crocodiles, and I used to write a rip-off Batman called Z-Man, and I did a crocodile comic, and he was like a comedian, and it was just so unfunny and so bad. But I just remember drawing those first memories of doing art as a kid. Like, what was yours? Like, can you remember some early stuff? Like, you drew celebrities, or you just drew animals, or stuff like that. Like, what's your first memories of picking up the crayons or anything?
First memory is like I've always been into doing art and stuff.
Mm.
And when I even from like my first year of primary school, um, I had a friend in the first year, and we both really liked doing art, and we've stayed in contact
Oh
like
wow.
since.
Yeah.
But it's been like hard because he moved away to London
London.
a couple of years, yeah, a couple of years ago, and so we still talk, and he's still amazing at art. And I remember that he'd just come over to my house, and I'd go over to his, and we just sit down and draw together.
Wow, really? You just finish school, just sit down, just scribble for ages. That's awesome. I love that. And you'd be able to help each like, do you think you have different how would you compare his art? What do you think he did different? Do you think you did stuff similar or he was just so different to you, like more abstract or something or
It was like s- when we'd draw, it was like we tried to do the same thing, but like see how we like differentiated it.
that's so cool. Yeah. And you
So
see
I
like the
remember a
end
big
piece.
thing. I remember a big thing that like separated our art was like the eyes of characters.
Yeah.
It's like I would just do scribbles, and he would actually like do like little highlights in the eyes, so it's like little parts cut out.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's a good friend you'll never lose. Like you can keep in touch. Like I've been able to call you guys friends to the people that are listening to this and they live overseas and we just talk on Discord and stuff. Like I feel I have genuinely good friends that I can't see because you can still chat like this. And I think if you can still talk, like people used to be pen pals for God's sake. Maybe that wasn't as genuine because you had time to think about what you were going to say. Um, but yeah, I don't think you lose those friends. You try and make it work, like you have, like you said you did. You tried to. They could have just moved, and if they weren't a real friend, probably would have forgotten about them. So I think you can keep your head up high there, trying to keep friends at long distance, which seems to be a
S-
thing in the UK. Do you think a lot of friends moved away from school and stuff? Like you've lost friends that had to
yeah,
move for education purposes and everything.
um, kind of. It's gone both ways in the past. So I've kept friends and I've lost friends.
Yeah,
It's like currently I have some friends that are homeschooled that used to go to my school, but we still keep in contact. And from primary school into the transition of secondary school, I had someone that I was really close with, and now I just don't speak to him at all.
yeah. People just naturally drift away. Yeah. And what I'm interested in, would you say, so are you serious when not serious, but like the homeschooling is probably more normalized now after COVID, do you think?
Yeah, it's
Is that
like
really
not
how
even
it
just
is?
one. There's been like quite a few people from my
Yeah.
year group that have gone off home.
They could have excelled and they just keep doing it. If it works for them, it works.
Yeah, it's like one of my friends that's homeschooled. She got like really good grades from her GCSEs.
Yeah. She just dominated. Well, that's what
She did.
yeah, my brother loved it. He is the opposite to me. I like running and I'm very lean, skinny, can't put on muscle. And he's the opposite. He's like half a foot taller than me and just goes to the gym every day. And people are like commenting to me now. They're like, "Your brother doesn't even look like you're related anymore." And he loved it. He would work. He'd attend class and then go work out, or go for a bike ride. Oh, sorry, because we're in a rural town, everyone. So COVID, you could go outside for us. We weren't in big cities or anything like that. But yeah, COVID for my community wasn't too bad. Um, like the kids did their study at home, but yeah, like I said, my brother got to have a recess and he got to do what he wanted. He wasn't just stuck at a school. He hated the school system of being in those walls and everything. It was like a jail to him. So I think a lot of people struggled, and I sympathise with that. But I think a lot of people made the most of that opportunity they were dealt with, the hand they were dealt with, basically. Uh, how did you
Yeah.
how did you manage? I should have asked that. How did you find everything the last couple of years trying to, you
um,
know?
in the lockdowns, um, I fucked myself. I
Oh,
just
what
didn't
website did you get the?
revise, and it really fucked me over because I lost a lot of school time due to personal issues as well.
Yeah,
So there was just like a year and a half of learning that I just lost. But since I've been back, it's like it's gone decently well, and I'm starting to get like actually passable grades.
That's good then.
So
Yeah.
at least it's not like all bad.
And that's what this podcast is for. Is it's not to put a downer asking you about COVID, and like everyone struggled in different ways. But look at you now. Like you're super motivated. Like, I'm really proud of you as a person. Like this, like what you've got. I love people that set goals, and for you to be so passionate about your studies, your art. Like even if you're collecting, you do great posts. This is just to celebrate a community, and I think you're on the right path to really do something that you love in life, which most people can't say they do. Um, yeah, I think you put it all. Yeah, you took it in your stride, and yeah, it's good to see you're on the way up.
It's been hard to manage a lot of
Mm,
things, but I just try my best to keep up with everything.
yeah,
It's all you can do at the minute. Just try for everything.
it's just that one day at a time, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, let's take you off the more sadder route. Let's put you. Let's keep talking about art. This might be funny. I'll send you the results after this. No one else gets to see them, but me and my girlfriend today, it's a public holiday and we got the day off. I'm recording in the morning and I'm going to go wake her up after this. She wants to do this art project when she draws for 5 minutes and then I take over and we keep swapping. I think it'll be fun, but I'm so bad at art, so I don't know how it's going to turn out.
That does sound really fun. I
And I reckon
might
it'll be,
actually steal the idea and just do it
yeah,
with someone.
yeah. She has all these art ideas and stuff. She went to a what did she call it? It was like a wine and art night, and like you got to drink wine with friends, and you just got your canvas. You got a massive canvas, and it was just like painting animals, and she painted her cat and everything. There's so many fun things and social nights you can do with art. I reckon take it seriously or just make it fun as you want, or as silly as you want.
I do want to do some things with art with like a couple of my friends because my friend group is like more on the creative side.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all into arts and like photography and a lot of shit. So it's like fun to do different things. It's like my one of my friends, he's like created his own little characters and
Oh yeah,
he's doing animatics of them
that's
and
so
it's
cool.
really cool to see.
Yeah.
And it's
Well,
not
let
even
me
like
No,
it's
sorry,
not
go
even
on.
like it's not even like they're little shitty characters or anything. They're like actually good designs and I want to see them like grow.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're all got their own personalities. Is it color? Is something does color engage you at all? Like I think that's a massive thing for me with art is color.
Yeah. Um when he does them as just sketches, but he has the colours planned out for them. And with one of his characters, I've done some artwork of it and applied the colour to see how it would look. And he said that he really liked it.
Okay, yeah. Well, what is when you said art's always been a part of your life, is that because family? Like is your family like artsy or are you just by yourself? I know you said you had a sister. Do you have more than that? Like feel free to give a little rundown, I suppose, whatever you feel comfortable talking about.
um, when talking about art in my family, nothing really comes to mind except like my granddad.
Okay.
I didn't do art with him, but I just like knew that he could do it.
Yeah.
Um, that's basically all I know for art in my family. It's pretty
It's
much
funny.
only been me doing it.
It's funny, isn't it? Everyone's just like my dad's a builder, my mum's a cook. I don't do any of that. Like I cook more now, but I'm not a hands-on person. I could never be a builder. It's funny. Like my dad, we get along with sport and fishing and stuff like that. But like I could never tell it. Like I surprised him. He's like, "You sell these?" He was like really impressed. He's like, "You sell these Youtooz?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." They're like this much you can sell like this one's this popular, this one's this popular. He's like, wow. Because he saw me take when I lived with my family for 6 months last year when I was like um going in between homes, and he saw me just taking photos of for my eBay and stuff, and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, making money, man. Like, it's so he's such a bless his soul. He's like one of those people that has the flip phone still and doesn't know how to do an email and stuff like that.
Uh,
Uh,
so
are your
with my
parents tech?
mum,
What was that? Sorry.
I talk about Youtooz with her, and it's like she does her best to remember what
Yeah.
I tell her. She does well. It's good to have things to bond over.
Yeah, exactly. I think Youtooz is something you can bond over because I don't know, you made a Steve Irwin thing, and if you made a celebrity that your mum knew, you're like, oh, this is like Youtooz inspired, or um,
Yeah,
Youtooz made Crash Bandicoot, and your uncle might know about that because he played it when he was a teenager or something like that. I don't know.
yeah.
It's
It's
just,
like with the Breaking Bad set.
oh, exactly.
Me and
Yeah.
me and my mum watched Breaking Bad together.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. She got good taste then.
Yeah.
Yeah, top tier. Um, Now, what we haven't talked about is I'm still talking about the art. I swear to God, guy, YouTube's questions will come, but you got your timestamps. But what's the daily routine for you? I know you said you're studying. There's a lot of stress with that at the moment, and you were talking about things aren't as regular. So, are you saying you're doing like an hour less art than you'd want to a night or something like that, or do you going to have like a daily routine, weekly routine?
Uh, my routine is just fucked. Um, when I get up in the morning to go to school, I get it's like I'm up, but I just like lay there for a while and then
Yep.
don't leave until I actually have to work work at school all day, then come home exhausted and just kind of like lay in bed and text
Yeah.
my partner.
I know that feeling. Yep.
And it's like you get the occasional day where it's like, oh yeah, I've got a bit of energy, so I'll do some art or like play songs on guitar. And it's just need to sort things out.
Yeah. Right. So that's another hobby of yours. You like your music. You play guitar.
Um, it's not like major guitar, just like small little songs that I like to learn.
Yeah. Cool. On the acoustic.
Yeah,
Is that even the right way to call it? Electronic and electric guitar and acoustic guitar. Yeah. I'm not that
yeah.
like I love my music, but I got no idea how to describe things. What do we?
With guitar, I'm wanting to get a bass because
Oh yeah.
my acoustic, on the acoustic, I learn a lot of bass lines.
Yeah.
So it would be quite beneficial to have a bass to actually do them properly.
What are some songs that you've learnt recently then? What are some mainstream ones then maybe that I might know?
Feel Good Inc. by Gorillaz.
Yep. That's so sick.
Um, Crazy Train by Ozzy Osbourne.
Yep.
Sweet Dreams by Marilyn Manson.
Probably know that one. Marilyn. That's that was on the Kanye. That was like that. He's on like the that live show, wasn't he? Of Kanye's live show when they're just
Was he?
stomping in Marilyn Manson. Yeah, I think Kanye got like Manson to be in his live concerts for what does he even call those albums? It's just blank or something. I don't know. I'm not. I shouldn't talk about things I just got no idea what I'm talking about. But yeah, he was like teaming up with Kanye recently or something.
It's not a mix that you'd expect.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was like Manson, Kanye. No, that was random, wasn't it? So like now it's like 10 o'clock at night for you. Are you a bit of a night owl? Like you say you wake up at the last second to go to school and stuff.
Yeah.
Like is this like early in the night for you still?
Yeah. about now, I'd still be up texting my partner,
Yeah.
and we
Sorry, partner.
usually we usually sleep around like midnight or 1 a.m. ish. So it's not really too late for me.
Yeah. Man, I die if I go to bed past midnight now. I just can't. Like, it doesn't matter if I sleep from 1 till 10, it's still like tired. Like, I just can't do it anymore. I used to do that as back in my day. I don't know how you guys do it. Sleep will become very important for you soon, trust me. Or maybe you're just blessed. You just run off 5 hours and you're fine.
Nah, it gets past sometimes now as well. It's like one time when I came home from school, it's just like I couldn't do anything. I just came upstairs, laid in bed, and just slept.
You sound so much like a lot of collectors, I reckon. Just like you're just nocturnal artists, and just like. Is there been times when there's just been inspiration when you're in bed and you're like, oh, time to get up? Maybe I'll draw something.
I don't usually get up for it. I remember taking a screenshot of darkness on my phone and then scribbling a little pattern
Oh,
to
right, yeah,
remember.
yeah.
And it's like I just didn't do it as a normal screenshot. I took a picture and just sent it to my friend, and I was just like, "Yeah, ignore this. I'm going to draw this when I wake up."
Oh,
And she's
right,
just
yeah, yeah.
okay.
I send my. I don't do traditional notes. I send myself messages because it's
Hmm.
like, I don't know why. I just like it. It's like a private way of keeping my messages and notes and stuff like that. It's just a weird thing I do. But when you're back to art again, this is my only segue. I'm like, oh, back to art. But what would you say, like, when I was drawing, when I said I was doing my comics when I was little, I always struggle with like feet and shoes and like that position. What's like your kryptonite of art? You're like, oh fuck, I hate drawing this. Like, oh, we're up to this part. Or is there
Hands.
nothing? Like you just like hands, did you say?
Yeah, fucking hands. They're so hard to get properly positioned.
Yeah. I reckon your hands are pretty
Mm.
cool actually. Wait, let me go the unprofessional part when I go to your. Yeah, like you did that plush of yourself, which is obviously a little bit more simpler.
Yeah,
But
just
I
fucking
like your.
hands.
I think your hands art's pretty good. Yeah, especially on
Nothing
the.
for me.
Doesn't mean you hate it when you're doing it though.
Nah. Something that I like struggle with doing like casual art is
Yeah,
the eyes, because I'm so used to doing Youtooz eyes. I just don't know how to stylize eyes properly.
true. It's like, oh, I'm out of practice. I've been doing something else for ages.
Currently, I've just like done an oval with a smaller oval inside, and
Yeah,
that's just like one solid color, no pupil.
eyes just change everything, don't they? Like some people do like a basic head and like do phenomenal eyes, and everyone just has strengths and weaknesses. But art is just there's no wrong or right answer. That's why it's so good to follow, and especially progression. You get to see like people strengthening what they're usually weak at and stuff. So
Yeah, definitely like strengths. If you look at my page, it's like looking back at some of the older concepts, they're just like so bad compared to the newer ones.
I think it was just the lighting. I never like said to you, but like it was hard because you obviously do it all on paper and stuff. It's actually like the lighting, and I actually had
Yeah,
to buy lighting for figures or and stuff. It's like making it like you've done the awesome art. It's now just presenting it professionally or not professionally, just getting it out there on Instagram and engaging with eyes. Like I think a lot of the past work was a bit more darker on the pages, and now everything's like a lot more
yeah.
vibrant.
It's like my old light. It used to be like yellow tinted, so that would
Yeah.
affect when I took the pictures.
Okay. I think that that probably makes sense now. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a tough gig for you because you're like, I just did this. Now I have to make it look good on Instagram. Like you're like, you can't win. You got two
I
two things to
usually have
worry about.
to, I usually have to wait until the morning
Okay.
and then let the normal sunlight just come through and shine on it.
Yeah, natural light. Yeah. Well, what does like a let's go to your most recent one, like the Keanu one, like Keanu. How long does like a normal art piece like that take? And what was probably the longest one you've ever done?
Uh, the John Wick one, um, that's more like harder to explain because recently I've had like little cards where I've sketched how I want the figure to look.
Yeah, before
So
going into it properly.
yeah, and I had that done for like a few days before I actually do it because it's easier to just do those because they're just rough sketches over like actual art pieces.
Yeah.
There's like with the John Wick one, that took maybe like 45 minutes.
Oh, still like a big chunky night, really, with everything. Yeah, I thought that would be
Yeah,
the I thought that would be an answer. Like, yeah, that 1 to 2 hours of planning and everything. So, and
like
then there's the
uh,
shading purposes, trying to get all that, the coloring right.
with like my older ones who are like started to get good, like with Corpse Husband. That one took quite a while to do because that wasn't like planned out at all. That was
Yeah.
just like the idea, did it straight away.
Well, how does even you've done it, it's taken an hour, you've done all the shading, like how does art make you feel when you post it? Are you nervous or you're just really comfortable in it? Like you are one of the most well-received people I think of everyone loves your art, like there's unique concepts. You're a humble person, really nice, incredibly kind if people get to know you anyway. Um but yeah, do you still get nervous when you press that upload button or you're really
Yeah,
confident with what you're doing right now?
sometimes it's like nervous sometimes. It's like um if there's a piece that I've tried really hard on, but it's like a lesser known creator,
Yeah.
it's like this isn't gonna get as much traction.
Mm.
So it's just like harder to like harder's not a good word. Um Difficult to explain it. More of just like personal feeling of like, oh, this hasn't got as many likes.
Mm.
Have I like gone shit?
And I think this is going to be a recurring factor of most guests. It's just likes and passion. Like I'll upload something. Like I could upload this podcast, and it could be one of the best interviews ever. But maybe it just gets 100 views or something. Like I think I'm in that part of my life when I'm just like trying to do everything I want and try not to look at the likes. But it's damn like you said, it's damn hard when you go, oh, maybe I should
Yeah.
just post something else. Um, and I can get that as an artist, something you've worked so hard for, and you're like, oh, but this is more of a niche character. You never know. So
Um, with some of my newer art, um, with like the sketches that I've got prepared, I've tried to do some more like well-known people. So I've got MatPat that's coming up.
oh yeah.
Uh, got Ed's World. Um, got some movie characters like Jack Torrance from The Shining.
Oh
Then I want to
really?
do some more.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I want to do some more horror characters.
That'd be cool. Yeah. I think as long as you're having fun drawing them, that's just the main thing. If you're just like, I don't think you'll be that type of person that's like drawing something just because of likes or something. I think that's probably just when you're going down the wrong route. And then you'll be even more disappointed if it doesn't get received well because the passion was probably never there. I don't think you're going to have
Yeah,
that problem.
it's like with art, it's like I only really do it if I'm in the mood to do it.
Yeah.
It's, it's not like I'm just doing it for the sake of staying relevant.
Relevant. What a term we live by.
Yeah.
You're irrelevant. Rice gum. Shout out. I used to
I
hate
did a
that word.
concept.
Irrelevant. What would your like? I think you say like you've got to be passionate about when you're drawing, but do you have like What do you think your most actually? You probably know what your most popular piece is because I don't look at your likes and stuff. What's your most popular piece? But how does that compare to a piece you're most proud of? If you can remember out of your 400 posts or so on.
um, I remember it's like because they were on different platforms. I remember different ones getting different amount of likes.
Yeah,
Like Corpse Husband, that did really well compared to the other posts on Instagram. It's
right.
like a casual post on Instagram that gets about like 30-ish likes. And then Corpse Husband got like 70 something.
Isn't that crazy when you get that adrenaline? You're like, whoa, this is not normal. Or you just get that
Yeah,
post that goes crazy for no reason. Like, well, there is a reason for you. But for me, when you're collecting and just posted, I remember I posted like Nux Taco or whatever his name is, who I actually watch him
yeah,
now. But I was like, "Is Nux," and it like blew up, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" It's it's just a figure. Like I thought that corpse I had written down as one of my favorite. That was an awesome piece.
yeah. I was so proud of it when it came out.
Where do you? I actually haven't written this
It's
down. Like,
like
where do you keep all your
compare that to
pieces?
like one of the older ones. Um, my original Hot Ones concept.
Yeah,
That was more of a time when I was just like, I need to keep pushing these out, otherwise people will just like not want to look at my page.
yeah.
And
Well,
it's
even
like you can see it on that one because it was so rushed. It's like even his head shape is just off.
you think
It
it's shaky or
doesn't
something.
really
Yeah.
resemble Sean Evans.
Okay.
I just
Yeah.
really don't like it anymore.
All right. Yeah. It was a rushed project or something. Well, I've actually never thought about this, but where do you? Because all your art's hard copy. Like, do you have like a vault? Like, what do you do with them once they're done?
Sorry, I think you cut out for a second.
Oh, am I still here?
Yeah, you're good now.
Oh, okay. That's no stress. Because I was going to say, like, all your art is hard copies. Like, where do you actually keep them when they're done? Do you display them or do you just put them away in storage?
Um, I have a couple of books that I keep them in. It's
Yeah,
like just blank pages, and I have like 3 or 4 books just filled with concepts.
be like a
And
massive collection. You're not just collecting
yeah,
Youtooz. You're just like got this massive art collection as well.
literally, it's like all of my old art that's just in my cupboard, like 10 books.
Yeah, that's crazy. Holy moly! You're just gonna have like this massive library one day. I think that'll be good to physically just go through and go, wow, like I've changed so much. Like this has changed so much, and I used to do this, or now I do this now, and wow, I think that'd be really fun.
It is. It's like I occasionally go back and look through all of it, and there's like books from like 2015, 2016.
Jesus, all the way
Yeah,
back then. That's so cool. Well, what I'm
like
going to
the
do,
pictures.
Tuesy.
Yeah.
Now, there's this little thing that you do. It's like cold collecting Youtooz or something.
Mm.
We'll go into the Youtooz questions as well as joking about.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's no worries. I should have. I think I told you these questions a while ago, but do you know at the top of your head, like how many Youtooz you actually own?
Um, figures or like everything, like
Oh yeah,
plushes.
I hate that
Yeah.
everything question now. It's like, nah, I'm like OG. Like, let's stick to figures. We'll make it less complicated.
Figures, I have maybe 50 to 60.
Starts getting scary at 50, doesn't it? It's like that is a
Yeah.
lot. Like, are they all on? Like, how you display them on your? I know they actually. I got to go back to your Instagram because you really you've got a background of them. Yeah. So you have a
Yeah.
majority of them actually displayed, don't you?
Yeah, I have all of them displayed. They're just
Yeah.
up against the wall.
Wow. They're gonna. You're gonna need a bigger wall
I
one
will.
day.
It's literally almost touching the ceiling.
Yeah. you think that Youtooz is easy, and then they start making plushes and 1 foots and 2 foots, and you're like, holy shit, I can't keep up, or my storage can't keep up, basically.
Oh my god. I have on the Twitter giveaway for the prototypes, I won the 1 foot dissected Charlie Brown. I have
What?
no idea where I'm going to put that. Yeah.
You won that? Where did I miss that?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I did see
I
that.
I
I can't
actually
believe
reached
that.
out to them because like there was two winners of it
Yeah.
because there was like three. They kept one and then gave two away.
Okay.
And I reached out to the other winner, and his arrived like a month ago. So I reached out to Youtooz, and it turns out there was like an issue with shipping, and it was just stuck in
Yeah.
Miami for a while. So now they're just having to send it to the right address now.
Oh wow, I can't wait to see it. I really disappointed. I just couldn't budget for that one, and yeah, I just couldn't because it's like 200 Australian,
Yeah.
which is not an easy thing just to throw around. Like I said, the petrol prices going up and everything. So, um, God, that's so cool. I can't wait to see it. That is so cool. I'm so jealous. That is amazing.
Literally no idea where I'm gonna put it. I
You
have
saw
like
my
four countries.
you
Yeah.
saw my comics the other day. I'm a fan. Mass number one Garfield collector though.
Literally love that Garfield post.
That
It's
was
just like
awesome.
it was out of nowhere.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
a bunch of fucking Garfield books.
You should see my storage, dude. Like, um, I've moved house, and like I said, I'm recording while everyone's asleep. Everyone's probably waking up now. It's 9:20 a.m. But yeah, like my room is just like lots of boxes of storage because I'm not unpacking it. I'm just like I'm a collector. They're just gonna sit there, and if I want to get them out one day, I was like, and I dragged the Garfield comic books out. You saw the foot. Oh, actually, no, sorry. I was talking to Brian Turks about this. He was like a fan of the Foot Rot Flat ones. Um, you're a fan of Charlie Brown and Snoopy and all that, obviously.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was just so cool. Like some of the books were from the 50s, and I was like,
Oh
wow,
shit.
yeah, yeah, like published 1955 or something, because it's like an OG Snoopy book, and I'm like, this is crazy. And they don't even sell for that much. Like they sell for your five, let's just say £5 or 7 USD.
Yeah.
Because no one's condition is going to be good. Like we've all got our names written on them, just demolished. Like the Garfield books are really bad shape, but they're just a sentimental thing to me.
Yeah.
But have you ever been tempted to collect because of the popularity of a figure? Like how do you collect basically?
Um, with the figures that I get, it's usually people that I currently watch, used to watch, or just ones that I think have cool designs.
Yeah, that's me right now. Yeah, cool designs or who I watch. Yeah.
I've never really bought for resale, and I haven't sold anything yet, but I do have like an extra Skeppy version 2 and an extra Monster Cat because when they
Oh,
came in, the boxes were damaged.
Monster
So
Cat
I'm
was
thinking of selling
awesome.
them. Yeah.
That was a
So now I
genuinely
just,
good figure.
it is. It's just like I have one just sitting in my closet waiting to be sold.
That's awesome.
One on display.
The Skeppy one was pretty cool too. How they had the different material for the diamond.
Yeah.
Just like that little
Then
subtle change just makes things interesting.
and then because obviously Skeppy's Dream SMP, he's
Yeah,
probably gonna go for a bit.
yeah. Minecraft equals money. That's it. That's all I say to people. Just Minecraft equals money. Well,
Not even wrong.
is there figures that you missed? These are just my YouTube's questions because then we go into the socials. Um, but is there some? Oh, I actually missed out on Monster Cat because I just took it for granted. I was like, oh yeah, I'll buy it, and it just sold out really quick. Is there something
Yeah.
that you missed out on that you were shattered about?
Yeah. Um Dead Meat and Vex.
Oh yeah, dude, you missed Vex. Oh, true. I was tweeting a bit about Vex because Vex was really honest with his figures. He said they're 90% gone, and they actually were.
Yeah.
Not many people are. Like Slimesicle put out like Live Karaoke. He said they're 90% gone, and then it took 5 days to sell out, and I'm like, were they that was it that slow, or were you lying? Because I think people need to be honest about it, because 'cause they're like, "Well, I took it for granted, I'll actually buy it." Like, they just get their money. I'm sure they have sellout bonuses, or
Hmm.
not bonuses, but there's like Joe Weller. This is so funny. I don't know if you saw this post. When I started my account, Joe Weller was like talking on the Wafflin pod, and he got in trouble. Basically, his Youtooz was not moving at all. Like, he barely advertised it, and it was just a character one. Like, I bought it because it's Joe Weller, like iconic YouTube to me. And
Yeah.
but there's nothing special about it. It's just Joe Weller with a washer mashing t-shirt, and his figures were dead. Like, he wasn't making any sales, and he said, "Oh, Youtooz emailed me, and I'm in trouble for not selling many." And he's apparently his mum bought like a shitload. Um, but yeah, like I think these people need to be a bit more, and I think the numbers are more inflated now. Like, things take a little bit more
Yeah.
longer to sell out and stuff. So yeah.
It's like it is easier for things to sell out now because like Joe Weller was like more of an older figure
Mm,
within like the first 100. It's like you can clearly see the designs are getting better now.
yeah.
It's like compared the old Sidemen wave to the new Sidemen wave.
Like,
It's
they
like
have, oh, definitely. And they have 1 million followers on Instagram. Like, you just
yeah.
put a post out and you're going to sell thousands or hundreds. Um, they've got such a massive following. They're nearly what we can call mainstream. Like, it'd be so interesting to see where Youtooz is in 5 years,
Hmm.
which is one of my questions. What do you want to take a stab in the dark? What do you think? Sorry, I was gasping for air there. I was just honest with you guys. Like, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just like, I just speak my mind. Uh, like, I had a water pause the other time. Um, what's your? I don't know. Do you think it's like a? Do you want to take a guess or something? Something crazy that might happen to you twos, or do you think? Is there a figure? Maybe we start simpler and say, is there a figure you want to see, and what do you think might change in 5 years for something like you twos?
um, there's lots of figures that I want to see. You can probably tell from my account.
Yeah, it's stuff you want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. For the future, I think that they'll be able to like keep going how they're going for a couple more years, but it's like it gets to a point where you run out of creators to do. So it will
Exactly.
just become more things like Breaking Bad and Home Alone,
Mm.
more just like pop culture things. And so I think the pop culture will overthrow the YouTubers, and there just like won't be many left to do.
It feels like there's so many YouTubers left, but there isn't, because, like, I go, like, they made a Curtis Connor one, and I'm like, yeah, overdue. But I'm like, where's my TMG one? Where's my Cody Co? Sorry if you didn't know what TMG was. Um, like, Max Mofo, like, there's all these big names. I'm biased. I'll just say these big names. Like, you
Yeah.
did Nico Omalana, um,
Yeah.
but Beta Squad. Like, I don't know. It feels like there's so much stuff to do, but it's obviously hard to get these names. You can't just say, I'm going to make a PewDiePie one, because he didn't. He made his own. He did his own thing. PewDiePie's like really strict on doing his own thing.
Yeah, and it's like there was that thing with the Carl Jacobs plush. It's like he said that he would make his own. And
True.
it's like
Yeah.
I think people have seen the success of Youtooz and that like you can succeed by selling a figure of yourself.
Mm.
So more people are branching out and doing their own ones. It's like I don't remember what the guy was called, but there was this guy that just like stole Youtooz eyes and just made
Oh,
himself. Yeah,
Isaac Butterfield. Yeah.
yeah. He just sold himself.
That was so funny. Seeing an Australian, like, he's quite popular in Australia, and seeing the community just destroy him in the comments. It was so funny. Um, Yeah, I wonder what happened in the offices of YouTube. Like they're like, let's get the legal team, let's go.
It's like messages were sent to Youtooz about it, and then he just deleted the post a couple of
Yeah,
minutes later.
yeah, it's crazy. But you can tell. It, I come from I'm of an age when I remember and I know how hard it was to make money on YouTube. So people needed their sponsors. Um, People did it for free, and then people were like, "I need to do this sponsor." And then that's why I love Lewis Spears, because he roasts people that mock his sponsors, and he's like, "Do you want me to make fucking money? Do you want content? Like, I got to do this." And some people don't make it entertaining, but it's like YouTube ads. Like, there's YouTube ads because I watch the YouTube ads. I think it's just a weird thing in my morality that I go, "Oh, I'm supporting this YouTuber," even though YouTube Red might help them a bit more or something. I don't know, but I watch the ads. Sometimes I don't even skip them, and I'm giving them the money, and I don't care about um, them doing ads on top of ads, because it's just like they've got to make their money. And if you want your entertainment, you got to watch it. And then, yeah, ads on YouTube videos is like normalized now, where it was a massive thing like 5 years ago, 7 years ago, where it was like, what the fuck? They're doing an ad. Um, and now Youtooz gives people an opportunity to sell a product. It's technically an ad, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
this is big things for small creators, like a comedian like Lewis Spears, or um I'll just say Failboat. Like, I know these people aren't small, but
yeah,
I think people know what I'm talking about, where they go, "Oh, that guy got a Youtooz. Yeah, I think he deserves it," and stuff. So I think it's like a creative way of supporting a creator. Really, I think it's great.
yeah, and it's like more interesting. Like you don't just download an app; you actually get like
NordVPN,
a physical thing. Yeah,
Surfshark,
you get a physical
NordVPN,
thing.
Manscaped. Do you get the Manscaped ads?
A lot. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Um, Raid Shadow Legends was a massive thing.
still
Um,
is.
what are my ads at the moment? There's another one. I'm getting Japanese subscription boxes. That's a more niche one, but mainly Manscaped. They're just. I used to get underwear, like Step One underwear. Now we're just talking about ads. Um, but how boring is that? I'd much rather see a Youtooz be made and help creators and stuff. Like, they get a good proportion of the profits. So
It's like it's just a win for everyone. Youtooz
yeah,
makes
exactly.
money, the creator makes money, then the fans just get a cool little fucking figure.
Yeah, you just got to be patient.
Just wait like 9 months.
Now, I better get into these community questions, but I know this one wasn't asked, and I'd like to know just how you found out about Youtooz. And what does this community mean to you, really? I think you're a really positive member, but is there even anyone you want to thank, or give me a little intro? Tell me a little bit of a story. I'll put the pressure on you. I want you to talk for at least 2 minutes.
Oh shit, okay. Um, no, I found out about Youtooz like from I've known about them since the first Dead meme drop because I remember seeing an ad on Instagram and it was just an edit of Dead meme over Thanos, and then
Oh,
I was like,
wow.
"Oh, sure, that looks cool. I'll follow this page for a bit." And then they dropped the Misfits. I was like, "Oh shit, Misfits, that's cool."
Yeah. Big
But
start.
I didn't buy my first figures until Memulus and I'm Alex, and it's I'm so sad about it because I missed so many old figures. I really want Fits and Swagger now, and I just kind of followed them for a while, and then around January 2020, I stopped following for a bit, just like kept my eye on them, and then started looking back into it around March, and there's like a big fucking community. I was like, oh, that's cool. I can make concepts for this, and met a lot of people from the community. Um, they made me feel very welcome there. I've got close with Fakey and Pangy, as those are like the two main people that like I think of in the community, and it's like I can actually speak to them because they know about my personal account and we talk on there. It's like we've been in Discord calls where we just like stayed up and just spoke. It's like not about anything, just went on. It's just nice to see the community and just bring some random fucking people together.
That's
It's had
exactly
2
right.
minutes.
How No, I'm sorry, man. There's a good story there though. Like it sums it up well. Like just random people. Like you're talking to an Australian right now. Like,
Yeah.
dude, like what the fuck? Um, but a good point. I knew about the Misfits and just was like watching it. I was like it was such a big thing for them to start with such iconic, like massive
Yeah.
YouTubers like that. I think that was absolutely genius. They must have planned it. They must have had other people lined up. But you're right. I bought like Pyro or IMALEX, and I can't remember was IMALEX first then before Pyro. Um,
Uh, I
or
have them right in
Memians.
front of me. Nah,
Maybe Pyro was
Pyro's
first.
yeah, Pyro's number 9. I'm Alex's number 19.
Okay, so I bought Pyro first. Because he changed the game basically. He made like a whole ad for it. Like it was like
Yeah.
blowing shit up, and like there's
Fucking flew
advertising
out
a
of his
YouTube
window.
there's advertising a Youtooz and then like doing a pyrocynical, and it was so cool. And that's what it was. I was on now I can't remember. I've talked to so many people about this, but I was on Twitter first, and that was dead. And then Instagram's just been amazing ever since. And now you know how my Twitter is. It's like a spam account. I really
I
enjoy the Twitter,
remember
but
I remember finding your well, not really finding. It's like coming across your Instagram account. It's like you were such a small creator on there. And I was like, oh, this guy's cool. I like him. And then I can look at you now. You're one of the most like prominent members of the community.
it freaks me out. Like mental direction 646. Let's just. I hope I got his name right. But like, you saw that community thing I posted. I'll put it on the screen
Yeah.
now. There you go, everyone. But it's just crazy how I went from friends doing art of me to someone I've never spoken to before. Um, and people have done art of you as well. And it's just, I think that's the most humbling moment is when people kind of like what you upload and what you do. Um, and that's what I wanted to reach out from just posting photos to doing lives. I was like shitting myself. I thought they were so fun. To this, obviously, I don't know how skilled I am at doing this. I'm pretty rusty at the start, but um, yeah, I don't really mind the podcast game at the moment. I think that's what's going to keep me in the community for a long time.
Yeah, so this is entertaining to watch. Can't speak for this episode. Don't
We've
know
been
how
to
people watch this.
Well, it's an hour 15 so far. I think you're doing very well. Everyone, he was incredibly nervous at the start of this, so I think everyone should leave a comment below and let Tuzi know he's done phenomenal in this episode, mate. You've been incredibly patient and a great insight to art, really. Like I just never think about these things when you give me those answers. So, it's a lot of learning for everyone to learn every episode too, I reckon.
Just hope I haven't fucking repeated shit that Sleepy said.
No, I'm trying to remember what that was. I'm trying to remember. I said to Sleepy, I'm like, sorry, man, Mop's still editing and busy and stuff. And he's like, oh, good. I'm like, thank God, because like I said, it might have been out one Friday and it wasn't, and all this stuff. But um, yeah, we'll get them out when we can. I think it's going to be like these cost money too, so it's going to maybe once a month or once every 3 weeks at best, an episode will come out that people can hopefully enjoy.
It's that good. So I really loved what you did with Mellow. It's like even if you don't like podcasts, it's like because you're a community member and you're so welcoming, it's just like you're you're there, you're just talking, and it's just like listening to a conversation.
I thought people needed to be represented like you've got so many awesome like Pangy and all that, who you've mentioned, Fakey. People just know their art and their account, and they don't know much about them. And it's fair enough if people have said no to this. Some artists that I really wanted to give a voice and stuff, but that's totally fine if they don't want to. But I think everyone deserves to know a little bit more about each other. And I think it's just an interesting insight to just liking instead of liking something on Instagram, just actually getting to know someone or just listening to a conversation. If it's for you, it's for you. And like you said, um, people might not have been into podcasts, but maybe it gets them over the line and they start listening to longer format stuff, which we're not used to, of course, these days.
I don't really listen to podcasts. It's like I'd consider you a friend. It's like I want to support this, and it's like actually entertaining for me to watch.
Yeah, like I think I have so many friends, and I've never been able to talk to them. So this is like a goal that I've set for myself, and I consider you a good friend. I've just got to reach out more, and I've just got to make more time. I think people know I'm busy, so I'm not just a. It's not saying that school isn't a good excuse for you guys. It's like I'm juggling a lot, so I think people respect that at least. But um, yeah, well, what's my last question before we get into community questions? I guess I never asked the other two this, but who would you like to see on the podcast then? Because I know you say you know people, but you've never heard their voice. Who'd be someone you're interested to hear from?
I mean, have spoke to him before, but Pangy would be good. He's very funny.
I think that would be
Uh,
a loose one, wouldn't it?
yeah. Um, if you could get a hold of Rack, that would be pretty cool. I've liked Rack like basically since the start.
Yeah, Rack's interesting. Like he does. He's an artist that does. He's like yourself. I know you said you were doing like things that were popular, but he just does completely what he wants to do.
Yeah,
He doesn't, and it's great that he's getting rewarded with actual figures as well.
it's so
E-
cool. It's like
And
I love
that
the one of
that
Woody.
knives thing hasn't been sold out yet, so I think everyone needs to buy that too.
It's so cool when Youtooz like actually do community designs. It's like I have the Lars critical Rax do, then a couple of Space Panda ones. It's- they're so good.
And I think it's the year for concepts too. You're seeing like plushes, people getting made, Spooky
Yeah,
Kitten, K-Toon, everyone. I'm probably missing people. There was another purpled, wasn't there? Or Space Panda. I'm
yeah.
actually forgetting now. There's been. It's good to forget because there's so many as well. So, and is that like a goal you have for yourself? That I think yours are really creative, but you've probably never talked about having a goal of having a Youtooz made. But is that something you'd like to do as well, or you've tried to
It's not
push?
like it's not like a priority, like to push it out. Like, hey, look at this. This is a good design. This should be made. It's just like it'd be really fucking cool if they just randomly chose one of my designs. It's like, yeah, that's good enough. People want this over anything that we could design,
Yeah.
and that would be just so fucking cool.
Well, I think who knows? You might just get that random message one day. Got to keep your ears out or your inboxes. Now, let's go to these questions from everyone. What do we got here? I got the screenshots on my phone, so hence the. Some of these are so stupid. K-Toon, who are you? I think you've described that. Panama Chiller, top three games, and I'm guessing that's like I don't know if you play Switch or PS4 or PS5, etc. But you like a bit of a gamer, or
Actually, no. I never really grew up with consoles, so it's like I do have an Xbox now, and I just never grew up with them, so I just don't really use it.
yeah, same. I didn't. I wasn't lucky enough. I had a lot of DSs. I guess I was lucky in that factor, but I was more like your Nintendo DS, Game Boy,
Yeah.
small stuff
I
like the handheld stuff.
I still have a DS, It's like from years ago, and so I don't have a charger for it, so it
Yeah,
only turns on for like a second.
it's just
But I remember
useless.
playing
Yeah.
a Ben 10 game, and I loved it so much.
Now, what do we got here from Crip? When is the Boober concept? Crypt is waiting.
Oh,
He will
fuck off,
know what I
Crip.
mean.
Fuck off, Crip. Uh,
That's a good message.
do,
Yeah, fuck off.
do you want that explaining, or do we just leave that a mystery?
I don't know. What's the most entertaining answer?
Um, okay. Booba is this stupid little fucking rat creature. It's not even a rat, he's a little fucking Yeti, man. And I hate him so much. I fucking despise Booba. Punch his stupid little face. I hate him.
You have to give me a image for context. So I got no. Surely, like this is like such an in joke for you two.
Yeah, I will send you a picture of Booba after
You'll
this
probably
is
ruin my
done.
day. It's the start of my day, and you've ruined it. Thanks, Crip. Well, two people have asked this: Vino and Non Senbi. Your favorite concept, I suppose. Well, Vino's worded it like a concept you wish were real. So I'm guessing one of your favorites would be one of those as well. So what would be
Yeah.
a concept you turn to real life at a heartbeat?
Um, definitely either Corpse Husband, Will and E, or the 1 foot James Marriott.
Yeah, I would turn. I'd buy James Marriott right now. That was cool. And we've got that on the screen as well. So Turks did ask about like what inspired you to start making art, and it was kind of just it was just always there for you, wasn't it? Something you just
Yeah.
don't remember. It's just always there. Pangy's got favorite film slash favorite Batman villain.
Film, I really like A Clockwork Orange and Napoleon Dynamite.
I'll have to Google the Clockwork one, but I love Napoleon. That was iconic.
Yeah. Clockwork Orange is iconic as well. You'll probably recognize the
Let
suit.
me let me have a look. Clockwork Orange, 1971 film.
Yeah.
Anthony Burgess, Warren Clark. Let's see if the images ring a bell. I've probably seen. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. This looks familiar.
Yeah, it's very iconic, but not
Yeah, right.
like widely known.
Yeah, it's got some articles like if you were to recast, it's got like Tom Holland
Mm.
articles or something like recast hopefuls or something to remake it. Yeah, right. You've
And
got. Oh, did you know anything about Batman? Can you help Panky out, or you're gonna let
yeah,
him?
favorite Batman villain. I really like the Joker and Scarecrow. They're basic answers, but they're so
I think
fucking cool.
I think Scarecrow's awesome, and you haven't seen the new movie, but I'm excited to see if Matt Reeves can pull off Scarecrow, like a realistic
Yeah,
one, because
I really,
it's
I'm
fear
so fucking
toxins.
excited.
It can turn like it can inject anyone, and they can see like their biggest fear. So it's like the scariest shit ever, and it's just haunting.
It's such a fucking cool concept. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's perfect. He's got so many all the rogues gallery everyone knows about. Like every casual person will know half the villains that Batman has. So, what else have we got? We've got probably just running out of time here because everyone's waking up. Um, now you weren't a Batman. Well, you haven't watched the Batman, but had you watched the new No Way Home movie?
Um, I think I've seen like part of it, but I
Well,
haven't finished it.
Emmy on Twitter was like, "Who's your favorite out of the main villains?" Which is like, obviously Electro, Sandman, Green Goblin. Who else am I missing?
Doc
Lizard,
Ock.
Doc. Oh yeah, I'm missing. Wait, I think I've already. I think I said someone that wasn't there. Yeah, there's so many, wasn't there? Oh my god. Yeah. Do you have like a favorite from there?
I haven't seen far enough in it to know the villains, but I do really like Doc Ock.
Yeah. No, that's fair enough. Yeah, I think the casting of him is amazing too. How they brought that together. Now I will have to wrap this up soon. Is there? I think you've really covered a lot of your future goals as well. But is there a little sign off you wanted to do? Like, you've been nearly going an hour and a half now. So yeah, really appreciate your time, and I hope everyone enjoys this. But yeah, is there anything you wanted to say before we wrap things up?
Oh shit! I should have prepared.
You're fine.
It's going to be really underwhelming because I'm just going to think and nothing's going to come to mind.
It's no stress. I think you've covered a lot in this episode, so don't feel like you owe anything, I reckon.
Just leave it at that. That's good.
Just tell people to subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to CAF. Limited
Yeah.
time. Watch all the episodes.
Exactly. All right. Let's hope this uploads well. And thanks for listening, everyone. And yeah, thank you, Toozy. We'll talk soon.
See
Wait, you Spanish at the end. Sorry, that's when it stops recording. You Spanish at the end there or something.
you.
See. Sue.